back to another episode of Monochromatic. Today we're gonna do a response vid for my birthday challenge. It's about... Who are you?
I'm Rex.
Okay, do you know Final Fantasy?
I know Final Fantasy.
He knows Final Fantasy, so he can join us. This is Rex and he's gonna join us today for a response video for Tim Boekhout. So Rex, what's the main reason why the sales are dropping?
Well, I think the biggest reason, and many will agree, that the original creator of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, has left Square Enix a long time ago. Secondly, the music's composer, Nobuo Uematsu, also left to do freelance work, other stuff. Last but not least, you have Yoshitaka Amano, the concept artist for all those crazy title arts you see. Has also left.
The sales are dropping since part 9, I guess.
The worldwide sales don't really say the same thing, but at around part 10-2 they started using reused assets of the previous game.
Okay.
And since then they realized it sold pretty well, they can do it again.
Why change a winning tactic? It's turning into a losing tactic because everybody knows the trick now.
Everybody knows.
Yes, and 10-2, Final Fantasy 10-2, horrible.
People keep focusing on the bad games and they say, Final Fantasy went downhill, but instead Final Fantasy, the series, is home to a couple of the greatest games ever made. You know? So we should just focus on those games and just forget see the rest of the games as something different, you know. They're just a different game which we don't love as much. And maybe the new one will be
the new one is the producer, I think, of Kingdom Hearts?
No, the director of Kingdom Hearts.
The director.
The original creator of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so that has to be a freaking
Well,
good
when's
game.
the new Kingdom Hearts coming?
Well,
Soon.
soon. But he's working on it right now.
I saw the trailer of the new Final Fantasy and it looks so good. And
Which number is this?
15.
15.
15, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's never gonna stop.
No. It's like you too.
How's your experience of Final Fantasy the game?
I haven't originally played the first Final Fantasy,
Okay.
but I've heard everything about it, and the sequels, of course.
I actually played a few
Yeah, me too.
and I finished only one, so that's... I don't know if I really can enlighten...
Shun the non-believer!
Look, Final Fantasy X, that was the first Final Fantasy that I finished. I played part 8. I loved that, but I played it halfway through and...
Why was that?
Yeah, why was
Because
that?
the combat system is just really convoluted and
For me it was just too long.
it's a shitty game.
Long. It's
Yeah.
an RPG.
Yeah,
They're always long.
You're right, but it didn't grab me by the throat like part 10 did.
Yeah, it's more but that's a big problem I think with the games. They're making it easier and easier. Like they're shoving stuff down your throat you know already. I think it's a big problem.
And the
for
last
a lot of
part I
people.
played was Final Fantasy 13. And I played it like an hour or two and it was just follow this path. Just do this and only press X.
If the story is good and the characters are believable and everything else is, I don't mind a really linear story.
That's true.
Or just like the Walking Dead games. You don't do a lot of real gaming there.
It's really good. And the 13 part,
It's just a mess.
it's a mess and the characters, I didn't even connect it with the characters. I just...
Because they're trying to put too much characters in one game and they don't give the characters enough time to develop and for you to make a real connection with a character. So and besides that, I thought in 13 that all the characters were douchebags. I didn't like them.
Not one.
No, not one.
Maybe I was jumping the gun because I only played 1 or 2 hours of the game. So a lot of people are thinking now, yeah, just play another 10 hours, then it will be difficult, more story, blah blah.
I don't buy a game and start to play it and expect it to be good in 10 hours in the game, you know?
Exactly.
I want it to be good the first hour.
My point. Part 12, no way for me. It was, too political for me.
Some people are into that. It's the same with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has a lot of political
Also
things in them in the books. With the first time I started reading them was years ago, and I didn't like it at all. I was reading fast-paced fantasy novels at the time, and then somebody handed me Game of Thrones, and I started reading it, and I was like, what's this shit, man? I don't want this. I want magic and fighting, you know. But at a later stage in my life, I was just not reading fast-paced fantasy novels, and I started reading them, and then I could appreciate it. Talking about political stuff, in Final Fantasy VII, you have a lot of political stuff going on inside of the game, I think.
7 is seen as one of the best Final Fantasies out there.
It's seen as one of the best games of all time, I think. That's funny, because that game is like, when you look at it, it's like it doesn't have real immersion like Skyrim, games like Skyrim, for example, because it's like you're walking in pictures, you're walking in a painting or something, and the characters just look like, PlayStation 1 graphics. I could believe a polygon character which was all triangles, could believe him more than a really lifelike sprite.
I didn't play it, but I saw a let's play of the entire game. So the story-wise was so good.
Yeah, really good.
It was so good. The part when Ariad died, I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah, me too, man.
With part 10, I was like, there's no way I will put Yuna in my party, because that's my girl. I have to defend her. You know, I was so involved with her. I was almost in love with her, but not really in love. But you know what I mean, right?
But she doesn't put out, man.
Well, a little in the lake.
Yeah, a little.
No, it's not hardcore, but still, we got some, you know.
I think the stories are becoming so weird and big, and so many characters, that it keeps on getting harder and harder to get involved in the story.
To be completely honest, I never really liked its battle system. It's always turn-based. You always control the menu instead of the characters, and I never liked that. So I never really got into the games themselves, but everything around it, the music, the artwork.
No, I really love turn-based battle systems, because I grew up with RPG dungeon crawling games on the Sega Mega Drive, and all those games were turn-based, like the Shining in the Darkness is one. The first Might and Magic games were all turn-based battles. It gives you time to think, and I'm not a very fast thinker, so if I have to react on the spot, I'm just what I do? If you get bored really easily, then turn-based games are really not for you.
That's the right word, bored, because 12, I got bored so quickly. 13, I thought, okay, I'm pressing X all the time. Fuck this game, let me play some Gears of War, you know? And that's the problem with the later series of the Final Fantasy with me. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
My favorite, I'd have to go with 12, even though I didn't really play it, but it gives you the most control of the characters, so that's what I really appreciate about it.
Understood? Your Final Fantasy favorite?
I have to go with 7, man.
7.
It's just, I love stories. It's just, if a story works really good, I just love it.
Okay. Mine was 10, the story, and I like Titus. Just play the game, this game is amazing. So this was the Final Fantasy video, the challenge for Tim Boekhout. I hope you enjoyed it. For more videos, follow us on Facebook.
Subscribe on YouTube. Oh, you were gonna say something.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye.